Hi.
Hi, I was Chloeinka, and I'm here to tell you the story of this cheetah hero as well as my own. It's a pretty long journey I had with her and after her, how she came to be, how she became as big as she did, and so on. I would really like to talk about everything in this video and get it off my chest, as well as for many other reasons I'll clarify later. So, let's start with how she even came to be. Well, we would have to take a trip back all the way to 2013. Around that time, I started to watch YouTube and gradually wanted to become a part of it more and more, until finally, at the very beginning of 2014, I made this channel. I was 11 years old. I've made various types of videos. It began with just messy real life stuff with friends because I finally got a smartphone sometime during Christmas. But after a while, I started making videos from Star Stable Online, which is an online horse video game I played at the time. I literally just placed my Samsung on a tissue box in front of my laptop to record the screen. Oh my god, I'm dying of cringe just thinking about it. Uh, but back to the SSO before I lose my last brain cell. The name Chloeinka actually originated from it. I'm not sure how that happened, but somehow I chose the name Chloe when picking out a name for my character. And since then, it kinda stuck around. There were quite a few variations of it. I won't probably remember all of them, but I remember Chloe TV being a predecessor of Chloeinka. But why Chloeinka in the end? I kinda wanted something more unique and recognizable, so I just took Chloe and slapped Inka behind it. Because in Czech language, it's something you add behind a word or a name to make it sound cuter. For example, like in English, you would say mug and the cuter version would be muggy. Terrible example, but you get the point. Well, once I kinda got out of my SSO phase, here came the LPS era of this channel. I started watching a lot of LPS tubers and began collecting and making videos with LPS myself. In fact, I still do have all the LPS in my closet. That was all around the year 2015. But now, we're getting to the good part. 2016. The year when I made my first Miraculous Ladybug video. At that time, I randomly found a Miraculous Ladybug episode on YouTube, decided to watch it, and I was hooked from the very beginning, to the point of actually making a fun of speedpaint kind of thing. I drew it with a mouse just because I liked the show and I liked the idea of Chad Blank, so I just made a little drawing that was supposed to go nowhere, but boy oh boy, was I wrong. It got around 10,000 views overnight, which was a massive success for somebody who was used to a few hundred views at most. So I started making crappy speed paints with a mouse, Nightcore music. I still listen to Nightcore to this day, and Miraculous Ladybug, with some My Little Pony or Five Nights at Freddy's here and there. At that time, I also made Chloeinka. I had a jacket with a leopard pattern, but I was a dumb 14-year-old, so I thought it was a cheetah. And I really like that jacket, so I based the character of this channel on a freaking jacket. Yeah, I did that. Also, I'd like to point out Chloeinka is and was a character. Used to be kind of a self-insert, but I do not see her as myself or my persona anymore. That's why I'm talking about her in the third person. And yes, I'm actually a man if that wasn't obvious enough up to this point. Well, back to the main topic. The channel started breaking into thousands of views daily, and I was just so happy. But then I actually saw a speed edit of Maruvi, who was editing the final transformation, and started to make edits as well. And boom! The channel skyrocketed into millions of views, thousands of subscribers, and It went higher than I ever imagined it to. One video called The Gigantic Reveal even went so far to be the most viewed Miraculous Ladybug video on YouTube. Before that official music video was made, that surpassed it, but it was still a gigantic achievement for me and for this channel. I also started making a lot of money, which I was very happy about. I bought myself a drawing tablet, a new laptop, and didn't have to ask my parents for stuff anymore. As previously said, I was a 14-year-old kid at that time. But even though I was young, I was good with money. If I didn't need anything, I just wouldn't buy it. Also, a little fun fact. Most of my videos were edited in editor YouTube. Even the gigantic reveal one. Before they shut it down, that is. Then I used a nice simple movie maker. It's kind of funny to reveal such successful videos didn't even have a proper editing software behind them, but that's how it was. And that's how it worked out for me for a few months, until... My point is, Chloeinka got completely demonetized. Not just one or two videos, the entire channel. I remember that day very roughly, but I remember how I was kneeling next to my chair as my dad tried everything he could to help me sort this out, or find out what was wrong. I was crying my eyes out. Everything I worked on, everything I gained, everything I had. Poof, gone. Even now that I am talking about this, I feel snippets of what I felt in that moment. And it still hurts a little, even 5 years later. I was still very young, 15 at the time I lost it all, and I have to say it completely broke me. I couldn't bring myself to work on something properly even 2 years later. I'd say I was probably traumatized to some extent, constantly afraid that no matter what I do, someone will take it away from me again. Now that I look back at this as an adult, I would handle it differently and direct people on a different channel right away, not a year later, but I was just so broken and sad, I just couldn't think rationally. So it all just ended. I am not sure about the exact date as of today, but it happened around 28th of November 2017, which is the date I've uploaded the last Miraculous Ladybug speed edit I've made. I'm still unsure why, but as of today I know it has happened to every single Miraculous Ladybug creator, at least to those who did speed edits like myself. My theory is it was that time YouTube tried to get rid of harmful channels for children or something, so they demonetized every single one of them. But I have not researched it, therefore I don't know for certain. After all that, I managed to finish elementary school and went to high school. Schools work a little differently here in Czech Republic. I wanted to make mangas, so around 2 years after I ended with YouTube, I started the first volume of my own manga, which later on became my graduation project. That is a story for another day, cause that was wild. I really wanted to just forget about Chloeinka and bury her deep under and just move on. I was still a young teenager when I was working on her, and I'll say it, Chloeinka was part of my cringe phase. I renamed my channel to Gender Gaylord because I don't even know anymore, but it's not the worst name on the planet. It describes me pretty well, maybe except the Lord part. I'm gonna keep the name as it is now though. Another thing that actually kinda kept happening with this one local YouTuber is that he made a video about his most subscribed subscribers, and of course, I was somewhere around the top. I explained my situation in the comments and I thought that was that. But since then, once in a while, some kid always messages me if I'll sell the channel. Their answer is and always will be no. The first one was even so stubborn and couldn't take no for an answer that I had to spam them with take a hint gifts for hours. I would also like to mention how I even got to make this video, because as I already said, I wanted to bury everything deep under and never look back. I was sitting with my friend, editor Hange, at a party sometime in November this year. We were just sitting alone at a table and I don't even remember how, but we got around talking about Chloeinka again. I was thinking about making this video, but was leaning more towards not doing so. But she told me that I should, and that it's a great idea. She also told me that she reads comments under some re-uploads, where people were talking about where Chloeinka is, and that she was their childhood, and indeed. I went searching for Chloeinka myself, and found the exact same comments. I was indeed kind of touched. Something I now see as a cringe face was a childhood and a treasured memory for somebody else. It kind of surprised me, but I still wasn't fully convinced until I talked to my friends more and they said that I really should go and make this video, and I got thinking. I'm going to be fully honest here. I graduated in May this year, had my last summer break, and went on to look for a job. But there's just nothing I can possibly do. Either way, they want experience, or it's too far away, or it's something that someone with autism and scoliosis just cannot do. I've sent around 50 proposals, and in all these months, nothing happened. I have to say, if it wasn't for one absolutely lovely client that I have, I would probably go insane. I'm also entering manga competitions one after another, but I haven't placed in a single one yet. The biggest problem I currently have is that I just need to work on something, and I just cannot pick what to work on. Either I'll try to make a manga on tapas, webtoon, or whatever else, or I'll try to make videos again. But I cannot focus on both fully. I just have to pick. That's also why I'm making this video, to see if there is still somebody out there interested in my work as a YouTuber, and to see if I should focus on making videos again. I just need to see something happen. Otherwise, I'll just go nuts. That brings us to the future of Chloeinka. This channel will most likely never be revived again, but I can take Chloeinka as a character and put her in some of my manga, to give her a story or even create a whole another universe with her. I would of course have to change some things to rip her ties with Miraculous Ladybug, but I don't really think it would be necessary to just completely kill her off as a character. Let me know what you think about it. Also, a small thing I can do for you all is to make most of my videos public again. Of course, not the most cringe ones, those I want to bury deep underground, but every single video is just unlisted as of now, and if you really like it, I can make them all public again. As for me, I want to try to make videos once again. I've made 2 new channels, one where you'd be able to see videos like this one, story times, art challenges, art shoots, and so on. Both channels will be on the end card as well as in the description and the comments. I would really like to thank everybody who ended up watching this video until the very end. My wonderful supportive friends and my dear editor Hange, who probably spent hours upon hours editing this video for me and you all, just for a few snacks. Thank you very much. I also made a little dressed version using my own style of clothes, but that one's a little rushed. Had to go to bed because my cat was eating my ankles. This dude. This is art from 2019, which was 4 years ago. Damn. And now the fun part. She's an assassin because you wouldn't expect her to be. Writing 10 out of 10.
Read my manga.
And I haven't drawn a masculine man yet in this style, so can't pass this opportunity now, can I?